No. No way. Stop the music. YouTube, what do you think you're doing? What have we devolved into? Is this what April Fool's Day means now? The most obvious joke on the most obvious day? And all the while, the viewers who have been patiently waiting for new videos get ridiculed. Well, I'm the Green Scorpion, and I say that the joke is on you viewers, because I am going to give you a countdown today. A real one! Because cheating you out of something for a cheap laugh isn't what a practical joke is all about. Video games convey a lot of emotions. They can be empowering, they can humble us with their challenge, they can make us forlorn over the plight of our heroes, and we all know that they can make us angry. But what doesn't get a lot of attention is when games, all in good fun, pull one over on us. And that's what I'm celebrating on this first day of April, a list of 10 of my favorite playable pranks and virtual jests that make us say, "Oh, you cheeky game, you got me." To clarify, I'm going to avoid plot twists. Finding out that Master Chief is a girl the whole time, or that Sonic is the Heavy's father can be surprising and make for a great narrative moment, you know, if those two suggestions weren't really stupid. But it's less a prank to me and more of an effective literary device. And yes, I realize that by showing these to you, I'll have effectively ruined your chance to fall for them in-game, so sorry about that. If you've played these games before, it's possible that you've experienced these specific moments and didn't fall for the trick. Well, that'll happen. I find that people's gullibility comes and goes depending if their mind is otherwise occupied. Oh, and if I missed your favorite fake out, that's just fine. I probably missed a lot of them, but to my knowledge, I'm the first guy in my league to do something like this. So, first! I'm the Green Scorpion, and this is the top 10 sexiest female- oh, no, wait, no, I'm sorry. The top 10 video game practical jokes. Excuse me, my mistake. Rare programmers can be quite the witty Brits when they want to be. Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day had a lot of this, but sometimes the simplest joke is the one that hits you the hardest. In Donkey Kong Country 2, a burly Kremling named Klubba guards the path to the Lost Island, where the game's most challenging levels await. When talking to Klubba, your options are simple. Pay Krem coins to access a secret level, or leave and come back later. But what's that in the middle? Fight him? Yeah, you have the chance to fight Klubba for passage over the bridge, but when you choose this option, I don't know why, but that just cracks me up! Like, what did you think was going to happen? It's the deadpan nature of this joke that makes me remember it years later. There's no build-up, no payoff, no wop-wop trombone. The second you hit that button, Klubba pelts you and that's the end of it. In theory. But if you were a little kid playing this game for the first time, like I was, or if you're just a little too thick-headed, like I was, you might think, hey, if it gives me the option, maybe, just maybe, I can respond fast enough and jump over his cudgel, and then I'll have won the day. No, that's not possible. But dumb little me tried 4 or 5 times before I realized Rare was screwing with me. Hey, if you want a real joke, Rare, let's talk about Perfect Dark Zero. Sometimes in order for a story to progress, a character has to do something stupid. And sometimes, in order to continue a game, you have to make your character do something stupid. Like the infernal Cubist sisters in Phantom Hourglass. I know they're evil and going to betray me, but I still gotta help them to finish the dungeon. And Link seems none the wiser. Number 9 is a similar situation. You have to trigger the trap to keep going. But you may or may not anticipate the trap, which in this case, I didn't. Portal and Portal 2 are full of these moments. They could be plot twists like getting sent into an incinerator, they could be obstacles like Wheatley's smashy spiky thing, or otherwise a puzzle that might get interrupted by hijinks. My favorite comes after you disabled GLaDOS's neurotoxin pump and are now sneaking your way into her power cell in hopes of ending her once and for all. You're really off the grid here, away from GLaDOS's surveillance, and looking for the smallest points in the rafters that you can actually teleport to. The tension mounts as you prepare for the first strike this time around, until you get to this door.
I honestly, truly didn't think you'd fall for that.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot! This was my reaction the first time I played through this, and I think that's a sign of a good trick. Again, I needed to run into this fake door to continue the game anyway, but I found myself utterly shocked that I could fall for this. I think it's because of the linear nature of this game. I'm always just keeping my eyes ahead. I hadn't heard from GLaDOS in a while, so I thought I was just going to be sneaking up on her, and that last portal surface was kinda hard to find, so after I got it, I was really eager to keep going. If I had actually stopped and read the door first, it would have been obvious. But instead, I was trying to keep up the pace, so I read it as I approached the door, allowing just enough time for it to set that this was way too easy before the trap actually sprung. I also appreciate that this is basically the only mention of cake in Portal 2. When I heard about the sequel, I was afraid they might beat that joke into the ground, but this was a really well-executed acknowledgement of the first game. And yes, after this, GLaDOS is sure to mock you for how freaking dumb you are.
If I'd known you let yourself get captured this easily, I would have just dangled a turkey leg on a rope from the ceiling.
I know this is such a small moment of the game, but this, in my opinion, is game scripting at its finest. I'm afraid that this video is just going to devolve into the Green Scorpion explains all the jokes to you, but I really appreciate the setup that goes into some of these ruses. So let's look at Castle Crashers, a co-op beat-em-up mainly about defeating the evil wizard and rescuing the 4 captured princesses. The Barbarian boss has the first princess, the Cyclops has a second, and the Frost King has a third, and the fourth you have to save at the end of the game. Every time you defeat a boss that guards a princess, the co-op derails into a fighting game where you and your partners now duke it out to see who gets a kiss from the thankful damsel. It's pointless, but you kind of just want to win, and it's a great way to lord over your friends in this otherwise group effort. So after the final boss and the end credits, you and the group return to the tavern and finally get to decide who kisses the last princess. The victor puckers over to his prize when... what the f*** is that? Actually, I kinda saw this one coming. Throughout the game, whenever they show the princesses, the one in the orange dress always has her face covered. So I knew something had to be up. But I still admire the sense of punishment in this moment, and just how over the top it is. I mean, this is the last thing you see in the game. The whole game was leading up to this brick joke. And don't act like you got cheated out of something. You just killed your friends, and you want a kiss for it? Here, have some penguins. This is just another example of my golden rule. Never trust a clown! What if I were to tell you that this were the end of the countdown? I'm the Green Scorpion, see you guys next time. You wouldn't believe me. With us at number 7, and the fact that there's a lot of time left on that bar down below, there's obviously more I promise to address before calling it a day. Video games are the same. Quite a few of them pretend to be over prematurely, but come off it, Super Mario 3D World. Are we really expected to believe that this game ends on World 7? What, Symphony of the Night? You think I'll buy that we're not fighting Dracula at the end of the game? Wily's the real end boss? No! Well, for Bayonetta, a new intellectual property that was already credifiably insane, there wasn't any pre-established formula, so we were just strung along for the ride. Seriously, Bayonetta spoilers ahead. We've known about Father Baldur pretty much the whole time, and when it's time to fight him in the final showdown, everything feels pretty climactic, enough that it could totally pass for the true final boss. It's certainly epic enough. We've got the little girl subplot finally paying off, a visually stunning set-piece duel against the guy who's orchestrated all of the bad things in the story, and you even finish him off with this one magic bullet. And then there's a pretty long cutscene that wraps everything up nicely. We even get Bayonetta and Luca happy to see each other okay. And everything from now on is going to be rainbows and... No, something's wrong here. I think my favorite part is Luca's reaction when Bayonetta first collapses. He shrugs like, oh god, what now? Okay, maybe this wasn't the biggest surprise in the world. I mean, how many times has this happened in games before? A bunch of bosses were mentioning someone named Jubileus, so let's see where the rabbit hole goes. Without going too much into specifics, Bayonetta is taken hostage by Baldur, who's not quite dead yet, and oh hey, we get to play as Jean! Then we fight the creator herself. Now again, maybe this surprise final boss was a little more obvious than, say, Metroid Other M, or Final Fantasy IX, or heck, Baten Kaitos' final boss comes out of nowhere. But with Jubileus, it's not just one more fight. It's probably the best boss in the game, and it's the ending I really wanted, but didn't think I would get. Skating around space, dodging giant attacks, giving her the biggest Falcon punch the universe has ever known that not even Captain Falcon can measure up to it, and steering her careening body into the sun, we are left dumbfounded in the wake of it all as the credits stroll through a sudden and abrupt silence. And then... aw, damn it! Yeah, we're still going! She pulled a goddamn King K. Rool and sent us fake credits! Again, I can think of a lot of bosses that pretend to be dead. Amazon Pandora, Bad Girl, Black from Gunstar Heroes, even final bosses like the evil wizard and Castle Crashers. But this game has the utter gall to hide their fake ending behind another fake ending. If it wasn't so much fun to play, I'd be really mad right now. I've been picking too many examples that everyone knows about. I mean, JonTron talked about the Jubileus fake out before, and if you watch me, you probably already watched JonTron. So here's an underrated gem practically no one has played. Zack and Wiki quest for Barbaros' treasure for the Nintendo Wii. Though strange and a little finicky with the motion controls, it's an engaging puzzle adventure. Think Captain Toad with more variation but less polish. Oh, and some of the puzzles are friggin' esoteric. Luckily, things start out pretty tame in the jungle world, beginning with an introductory level where you meet the pirate Barbaros before unlocking more levels. Completing either one of those missions will lead the way to a very special level called 3 Colossi. I want to stress that this is potentially as early as your third mission in the game. So let's see what we got here. The treasure chest is up there, there's a little statue to assemble in the middle of the stage to get a hand crank, turn the crank to lower the chest, simple enough. But then you head up the stair to get the chest, and this happens. Follow along with me here. What the hell was that? Are you serious? Who made this crap? Capcom, as if you haven't hurt me enough. I mean, I really only did what the game told me to do. I did the most obvious thing in the room first. I used the item that I got, and it looked like I was done with the level. How was I to foresee this Rube Goldberg death machine? It is literally a beginner's trap. Well, actually, I think this level is really well designed and serves an important purpose for the game as a whole. Let me clarify. Level design that kills the player with a cheap trick is not okay in my book. Those fake floors in Simon's Quest, that's bull. Exploding treasure chests in Ultimate 8, that's bull. Anything that kills you, that you couldn't possibly know about, that punishes you for absolutely nothing, that's a whole herd of bull. But in the case of the 3 Colossi, it's not like you're being punished that badly. You have to restart the level, but that's really short anyway. 3 Colossi is designed to catch you the first time because it has a very important lesson to teach about the mechanics of the game. There are death traps, and they aren't always obvious. When approaching the more intricate puzzles in the game, you'll need to know that there are losing scenarios you can trigger, and you'll need to consider the ramifications of every action you make. Some of them are even going to be downright labyrinthian. So if you're really not prepared to retry stuff, stock up on platinum tickets so that you can have some redos. There's 1,000 lessons in defeat, and because the game made me feel kinda stupid here, I was able to learn from that trick and felt like a genius when I swerved every danger later on. Or not. What, did you think I could fit all this analysis into one video? You must be joking. I'll get to numbers 5 through 1 to you shortly, Scout's honor. And if you happen to see this on the day it was posted, Well, hope you enjoyed it. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody, and I'll see you for part 2.